Well, hey, what's going on? It's about 8:05 a.m. on a Monday. I'm heading up to Bumrungrad. I'm going to do a little mini physical. It's just some blood and urine work. No big deal. I did the physical a couple of years in a row. To be kind of honest, it's eh. They have these Cadillac physicals that your insurance won't cover. I think you can pay cash. I don't remember. It was less than 500 US dollars, maybe way less, but they do everything, an EKG, I think even an ultrasound, checking all the vital organs. I might schedule that. The thing with my US insurance, they'll pay for a physical once a year for free. Anything else, they have to have a reason to do an ultrasound, and then they'll pay for it with a copay, of course. So I learned that the hard way the first year and negotiated some things away, but I still ended up having to pay some money. But if nothing else, I'm going to make sure the blood work's looking okay, and urine, I feel fine, but it's just something I want to keep up on. So I'm heading off. I'm going to do a little walking and filming down up in that area of Bumrungrad, up on, sukhumvit, in between Soi 1 and 3. So I'm going to take it easy on myself, jump on a motorbike, head up to the Prompong BTS. And I'm not hitting the gym as often as I should. I should make that change, but I'm swimming as much as I can. They were painting the sides of my building for the longest time. It was kind of trash in the pool, but that is done, so I have no excuses. And as far as cardio, out making these videos, my little hobby, I don't even know, at least 20 miles a week. I'm walking around, so that's going to continue. And I live here by the Four Wings, Bangkok, at the end of Sukhumvit 26. I was on the yellow line out in the Lat Phrao area yesterday, and I saw another Four Wings. I don't know why. I thought it was one of one. There was another one out there. A little bit of a light day. I think it may be a bank holiday. My road can be a little busy, but I like this area of Prompong. Soi 26. Nice tree-lined street. Beautiful Crom building. Expensive. Yeah. Story Bangkok. I think it's more service department. Chapter Night Market, Lucky Hotel. And lives in Asia. Oh yeah, the DoubleTree. And I'll chuck massage up here, Dream Heaven. Yes, sir. Run noodles. Nova Refined Building, the Estelle, and there's Sukhumvit. Yeah, I could have easily made this walk, but I will be walking all day. There's the former Angel Massage, went down. Boss, JP. Love. It's good right here, my friend. All right, thank you. All right, we'll see you. That's my guy. I'm getting to know all my neighborhood motor taxis. Now, see, he's gonna deadhead back. Oh, no, I was gonna say, is he getting in line? He is getting in line. I've never seen that. Normally, maybe there's a shortage today. Normally they deadhead back. And this guy is kind of going against traffic to get back to the taxi stand. No big deal, but be aware. I've mentioned it many times. There might be a motorbike coming up behind you if you're wearing the headphones and not paying attention. Is it legal? No. Are they going to do it to carry on with their business? Yes, they are. And I'm running a little bit late, so I am gonna jump on the train here, go the 2 stops to Nana. And as far as the price of the motorbike, I just hand them a 20 baht note. Technically it's 10 baht from halfway up the Soi, but I don't know. I kind of know all the guys, and they kind of know me as the guy who always hands a 20 baht note. Now Boone she's Thai, so she will end the trip, hand that 20 baht note, and half the time she'll get back the 10 baht. The other half she does not. She doesn't really ask for it, but she'll keep that 10 baht coin in her purse if they hand it back. Technically, I think it's 20 baht from my condo to BTS Sukhumvit, where they'll bring you right here where the drink stand is, but I always just get off at the end of the street. Maybe I should just say, take me to the taxi stand and hand them 10 baht. Again, I'm not really worried about 10 baht. Right here at Prompong is International Medical Clinic. You'll find these little clinics all over town, health checkup, fast service, done in 10 minutes. I've just established a relationship with the hospital, so I go there. Not that big a deal. I'm sure there's a cheaper way to do things, but I'm a one-stop shop kind of guy. And the train just took off right as I walked up. Don't knock anybody down running to the train. You can see it's, what is that, 8:18? I'll guess the train will be here within 2 minutes. And I've showed this before, but we're sticking to the basics. This might be the first video you're watching. If so, check out the channel for more everyday looks around Bangkok. You can see the arrows. You don't want to, it's pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to stand in the middle or some kid looking at their phone's going to come barreling off the train. You'll see there are 2 lines. When it piles up, even though you're, say, the first person in this line, don't be surprised if somebody starts a new line right here. That's what they want. They don't really want one line of 20 people on either side, and it can get that busy. Now this station has the glass guard. Not every station will, and they'll whistle. There's a guard on every platform. They'll whistle at you to get back away from that yellow line as the train approaches. That's probably a good idea, not a good place to trip. Right at the Prompong BTS is the check-in hotel. You'll see these on Agoda and Booking.com at an affordable rate. Just keep in mind, many of the rooms will not have a window. And you know I'm going to take that 2-minute estimation back. We are on a holiday schedule, so I'm sure that's spread out an extra minute or two. And getting to the holiday, Thailand will have plenty of them. This is, call it a government bank holiday. Some people work, some people don't, just like in any country. They also have Buddha days, more religious based, and that will oftentimes come with no alcohol. There's not a ton of them. I can't remember off the top of my head, call it 6. I know there's one time frame where it's 2 days in a row, so Google Buddha holidays if not having a beer is going to wreck your 10-day vacation. The trains are over air conditioned. They feel great. Super, super safe. Don't worry about traveling as a single female or for any reason. You'll see little kids riding the train alone. It's just a nice, safe system. Now, I'm not saying there aren't grifters from all over the world in any major city, so watch the pickpockets and you will be rubbing up against people, but for the most part, it's a very, very safe system. And I've never seen this, an emergency train stop. Unfortunately, I don't know how common it is here, but I was watching a documentary on, is that Soft White Underbelly? Check out that YouTube channel. He's always interviewing homicide cops, and the guy was talking about in New York City how many people in their life jumping in front of a train. So terrible situation. Again, I think that is probably a little less in this Buddhist type country, but there is an emergency train stop if somebody's having a bad day. Here comes my train. It was a little less than 4 minutes. Again, we're on the Sunday/holiday schedule. During prime time, every 2 minutes, sometimes more often. And common sense on the train. Stand near the door when you're at the next station, or if you're standing by the door, step off the train, let people exit. And there you go. Not even a, I don't even know what that was, 4-minute train ride, maybe less. Up to the Nana station. You can see this is one of the stations. I don't know why this is such a popular tourist area, but it does not have the gates. I am going to go to the odd side, and way off in the distance where you see that building off to the right, you'll find world-class hospital, Bumrungrad. It's always in the conversation as one of the best, but there's Samiti J and Med Park. There's a dozen top-of-the-line international hospitals. Even if you're paying cash, it's not going to break the bank unless you bust yourself up and need some kind of orthopedic surgery, well, then it's going to cost real money, but even then, it is what it is. I should probably become an affiliate like all the other YouTubers for, I believe it's Pacific Wings Safety Insurance. I don't think it's really intended for living here, but if you make multiple trips, everybody, including myself, chose this Q building. 130 million baht for, I assume it's the top of the line penthouse. At that price, it better be 3 floors of penthouse at the top. These turtle stores have popped up in the past couple of years here in the BTS station. They're nice. Just like a 7-Eleven, 6 to 11 p.m. But there's something attached to it, the Turtle Club. I think you can earn rabbit points for every 20 baht you spend. 1 rabbit point. All right, why not? Special redemption items, birthday gift. I need to get more familiar with some of these programs. I have grab points, and it's just another language barrier. I'll be the first to say here in central Bangkok, it's fairly easy to get around, communicate in English. You can see all the signs are in English. The announcements on the train in Thai and English. But sometimes navigating the Turtle Points program, it may be a little bit more Thai. Again, I'm sure it's not that complicated. It's just how many things do you want to figure out in a day. And I just tapped up my Rabbit, my frequent traveler card, to buzz in and buzz out. I'm old school. I know you can do it over here on the machines and even on the app, but when it's dead like this and I'm under 400 baht, say, I just toss 1,000 baht on there and it lasts me forever. Now, if I were traveling every day, like my girlfriend heading to work, that number is gonna go down a lot faster. This is the beer garden at the top of Sukhumvit Soi 7, right down here. Fun little area. And across the way on Soi 4 on the even side of the road. Kind of makes sense. 1357 is on this side, and then you have 246 on the other, going kind of a long distance across Thailand, but across Bangkok anyhow, it kind of goes in order. So if somebody tells you they're on Soi 42, you have a general idea. That happens to be up in the Ekamai BTS area. Now a little bit of a more nitty-gritty area off on the right here, in between Soi 3 and Soi 5 is, I don't know if it's called Little Arabia. There's all kinds of Iraqi hotels and some really good Arabic food and bread. Good stuff. But there's also, if you're gonna run into trouble in Bangkok, it may be in between Nana and Asok. There's characters from all over the world. It's pretty darn quiet at 8:20. Mostly the recycle guy, but you can see all these garage doors swing up. There's what they call a single or a double unit bar, usually a pool table, half dozen ladies hanging out. It's a fun time. There's probably a centralized toilet. It's all closed up. Usually one place seems to stay open 24 hours, but these are just mellow places compared to what's called a go-go bar up in Nana Plaza or Soi Cowboy, even down in Pat Pong in the Saladang BTS area. Those are behind closed doors, more like a strip club. These beer bars, it's just a little bit more mellow. And there's the Moonshine Pub. Still, be careful. You can go through a ton of money in every bar here in Bangkok. The name of the game is the ladies are trying to get you to buy them ladies' drinks. Hang out, play pool. Normally it will be, you'll be challenged to a game of pool, and the winner's gonna buy her and maybe her 2 friends a drink. And that's gonna add up fast. I don't care how good you think you are at pool. Some of these ladies have played pool every night of their life for years and years. And they're pretty good. And I've seen it running around town. In fact, I know the Bumrungrad shuttle van will pick you up here. Not so much today with normal traffic to make that loop back over to the hospital. Man, I'd give it at least 20 minutes. I'm just gonna walk it for exercise reasons, but more to just avoid sitting in traffic. I'm walking up Sukhumvit, plenty of seafood places on the rides. There's a lot of tailors. We're coming up to, I think this is Soi 5. Yeah, it is. And there's a 24-hour food land. This is kind of a famous seafood place. But up Soi 5, near that food land, and the Grand Hotel, I believe, is one of my favorite places for homemade Arabic bread. They're making it in the oven. Hafid, there it is. Just not even a 10-second walk up on the left. I think it's 24 hours, but they run out of kebab meat. And some McDonald's on the corner. Gulliver's. I was showing Pattaya the other day, and they had a Gulliver's. Hi. These guys are all trying to get customers to go everywhere from longtail boat ride. They'll take you to Pattaya. They'll do anything you want. We rented a van coming back from Pattaya. Now, we did it through Mike's taxi service. It was all arranged in a fair price, and then I decide what I want to tip. Some of these guys will probably start a little higher, but Mike's Camry 2 people price was 1,200 baht, and then I put on a 300 baht tip. A van showed up because I guess the van had dropped off a fare and could easily pick us up within the hour. Now, the van price, I think, was 1,800 baht, but it was these luxury leather seats. You could have easily put 6 people in there, if not more. I gave him 600 baht tip. I'm sure that van just cost more to operate. But then again, like Boone said, he was dead heading back from Pattaya, so he was just lucky to get another fare. Where you see the gas station on the other side of the street, that's Sukhumvit Soi 4. Just a short distance up the way, the famous red light district, Nana Plaza. Even right now at 8 in the morning, there is, well, I never even thought about it. It's called the Morning Inn. And there's the Stumble Inn. There's a couple of them right on the corner for day drinking, hanging out. I'm sure there'll be people sitting there with their coffee and whiskey. Hopefully this stays green for a minute. Let me hustle across. Not too far ahead is the Plonchip BTS, and off to the left on Soi 2, that's where I go to the dentist, the Bangkok International Dental Hospital. Top of the line, fair prices. It's not a giveaway. You can get your teeth cleaned. There must be 20 dentists on many of these blocks, and they'll do an exam, x-rays, cleaning for next to nothing. I probably pay $48 at Bangkok International, but it's a pretty state-of-the-art place, and once again, I'm all about knowing my dentist and getting my teeth cleaned every 6 months. If I break a crown or something goes wrong, I'm not scrambling to find somebody to get the job done correct. Again, a lot of Arabic food in this area. You'll see people walking around. You come down here at midnight, there's not a lot of alcohol happening. They're sitting around with the tobacco, water pipes, whatever they're called. All kinds of Arabia market, and it's interesting, and the food's incredible. But if you want to be pointed in a decent direction, hit that Hafid on Sukhumvit 5. In fact, when I'm done here by the hospital, I'm going to walk by and hopefully they're baking the bread. I shouldn't be eating as much bread as I do, but it's delicious. And off in the distance, you can see the Zenith Hotel. Just past that, we'll make a left, and that's Bumrungrad. I haven't quite figured out the ambulance system. Well, I think I know. You're supposed to call Bumrungrad's ambulance to come get you. There's, not that I know of, a 911 emergency type system. there's something. I don't know if it's 511. I should have researched that. That is more for the tourist police. And I've never seen the tourist police show up, so I'm not sure how fast they drop everything and come running to your side when you're arguing over an extra bill on or drink on your bill. I'd just pay it, and if that left a bad taste in your mouth, just don't go back to that bar. But it's really not worth an argument for, I'll say, nothing worth less than $20 US is worth an argument. And I don't want to lose $20 any more than the next guy. It just doesn't happen. And when I'm having these discussions with folks about whatever it is, well, I've seen it in person. I'll be hanging out and somebody's getting hammered and having a good time, but just buying drinks for everybody. You ladies get 6 drinks. Well, that's going to come at a cost. And then when it comes time to pay the bill, it's like, whoa, 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 you know, what's going on here? That's why many of these places just keep changing your bin every drink, and it's up to you to look at that new receipt so there's no surprises at the end of the night. But that's easier said than done when you're getting hammered. Some smaller places down the way, there's the City Mansion. These are pretty basic accommodations. I would say shy away from basic in Bangkok. It's worth it to pay just a little extra money. Sarah's Hotel. I don't know anything about these places, but find yourself a nice place to stay, and don't worry about saving $10 or $15 a night. There's a real difference between a $15 place and a $38 place. I don't know if it's I think it's the residence to the Japanese ambassadors up here on the right. The only reason I know that is the Japanese embassy is down by Lumpini Park. And here's the Zenith Hotel with the 1972s barber. I'm always talking about my guy Arm over at the top of Sukhumvit Soi 24. I haven't seen him since I came back from California, but he told me he had plans to open a second barber shop. At first it was just him working 7 days a week, 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. Then he brought in 2 more barbers, and now the man's hustling. He opened a barber shop in the I think it's called the Skyview Hotel, right there on Soi 24, in one of those glass type, the size of a shipping container, one of them glass enclosures, nice and air conditioned. You can't miss it. This is the embassy to, is it Pakistan? Yes, the embassy of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. And our next stop here, where that traffic police is, we take a left. We're at Bumrungrad. Now, if you went off to the right, you'd kind of meander through the neighborhood and pop out down by above 11. There goes a Harley. Above 11, rooftop bar, midway down Soi 11. Another way to get to the hospital. Yeah, in fact, I think that's it. The building in the middle at the end there, I think that's above 11 at the top of the Fraser Suites Hotel, Ethiopian restaurant. And you can't really miss it, but the 3 Sukhumvit Hotel, that's your turn. And that's the hospital. 3 large towers, A, B, and C, I believe. And this place is usually hustling busy. This seems very slow. Even the cars, there's no way. In the past, I would take a grab car in here. It'd take you 15 minutes just to get through the parking lot. Now, if you're just not feeling well, once again, you can go to any of the little clinics around town. They'll dust off your stomach and get you some medicine. If you're in this area and you want to go a little more first class, Come over here to Bumrungrad. This is the A building on the left. Down there, where you see that taxi cab on the left, that's the emergency room. And then this building over here, I don't know if that's the C building. There's a McDonald's. That is the main lobby. You can go in there and say, I've twisted my ankle, I have food poisoning, whichever. And they will make you, oftentimes, an immediate appointment. Come early in the day, just in case things are crazy busy. But it's more, how do I put it, set up like a business. They're charging top dollar. They're in the business of not telling you to come back in 2 weeks. And they'll also park the fancier Maseratis and Porsches out front, kind of like a fine hotel. And I'm seeing people dressed in garb from every country in the world. I've been told in the past this is the go-to hospital for many folks in the Middle East. Want to have some cash? This is the place to come and pay cash for that open heart surgery or whatever they need. And as you're looking up the doctors online, they'll say, I mean, 99% of them will speak English, but they'll say the different languages they speak and where they went to school, did their residency, etc. Not that it's all about the U.S. to me, but that makes me a little more comfortable as an English-only speaker. The person I'm meeting with today went to one of the finer hospitals here in Thailand, and then did a residency in Chicago and one in some specialty in Texas. So I'm sure we're not going to have any problems with communication. Again, I know that's my problem, not speaking fluent Thai, but that just is what it is. Here's a little peek inside. You can see it's all state-of-the-art, all super clean. Right behind me is an expat liaison office to deal with your insurances. In my case, oh, that's me. They're calling me up. I gotta pay the bill. And everything in moderation. They even have a McDonald's food experience, food court. I'm in the B building. This is kind of the main lobby. Across the way is the emergency room. So that all went good and smooth. The only issue, and I just kind of count on it every time I come here. When I was in California, I got an email saying, hey, you owe 1,400 baht. And you can drive yourself crazy trying to figure out why. Basically, when you have, and I can only speak to U.S. insurance, I have the Blue Cross with a Geo Blue. It's the federal plan. I've mentioned it in other videos, and I think there was a firefighter from Cleveland who watches my channel, and he said his Blue Cross does not cover him here in Thailand, and we both found out it's because he did not have the Geo Blue attachment. Again, I was a mailman, so I'm probably lucked into the same health plan. They cover embassy workers or different federal workers that work overseas, so that's good for me. I hope it works out for you. But you have to have what's called a GOB, guarantee of benefit. Basically, if you're sick, and it changes from year to year, in 2025, what the new rule, the new plan, who's ever handling the overseas billing for Blue Cross, what they insist on is a guarantee of benefit before you see the doctor. Otherwise, you pay cash for the visit, and then you get reimbursed later. Now, the good news is 24 hours a day, you can call this GOB hotline, and I'm sure it works the same with other insurances. Again, I have Blue Cross, whoever you have that may cover you overseas. I assume it works the same way. Get that guarantee of benefit, and when you come in, everybody's on the same page. You just pay the copay. Today, my copay, everybody was in agreement, is $0 for preventative services such as a basic physical, other things. I think my colonoscopy was also $0. But here's where the problem starts. And again, it's not a major issue. You just kind of have to roll with the flow. There will be things billed that Blue Cross might have a problem with. And in the case of that 1,400 baht I just had to pay, I just paid it. I'm not going to argue forever, you know, why do I owe 1,400 baht? And then you find out from Blue Cross after 3 or 4 phone calls and an hour and a half on the phone that Bumrungrad billed them for something called medical service. No code, no specific reason, just a blank medical service. And Blue Cross says, we don't pay that. We need 02701, this procedure, and then we'll pay. So it is what it is. It's a little bit of a translation issue. And even today, I had a very small bill of 300 baht for some medicine and just routine. And when I went to go pay my bill, and you pay it right on the spot, whether it's your copay or your pharmacy, and I went lazy today. You can also pay your pharmacy bill at a place like Siam Pharmacy and save a little bit of money, but for 300 baht, I'm like, yeah, let's just get this over with, 10 bucks. But when the cashier called me up, she said I had a 460 baht credit. So in California, they sent me a note saying you owe 1,000, whatever it was, 500 baht. I just paid it. I didn't argue. I don't want to burn bridges with my hospital here. And then not even 2 weeks later, here in Thailand, we owe you 460 bucks. So it's all about what the insurance paid. And sometimes, again, when I was not arguing, but a little bit more trying to figure out what was happening 2 years ago, say, I was like, what's going on? A zero copay is a zero copay. What do you mean I owe 12 bucks? And then I later found out it's just about how it was billed. It's all about numbers and dotting I's and crossing T's, and if it's not entirely done correct, well, then I have to pay. But 2 months later, insurance might have paid exactly what they asked for. There are review processes and on and on. I haven't really got into that. I did when I first got here because I was getting a shingles vaccine and everybody was in agreement it was free. And then I received that bill for 12 bucks and I'm, well, what's going on? I went back and forth, wasted hours, and later found out they just billed it wrong. They billed shingles vaccine, the insurance paid for it, and then they billed nursing wife care and no explanation. The person at Blue Cross said, had they just added that into the shingles vaccine charge, it would have got paid for, but they billed it separately for some reason, and we don't just pay for unknown nursing care. So I had to pay for it. So accept it or just come here and pay cash. If you're going to be using any type of insurance, there's going to be these small hoops and hurdles. And there's not a ton of 40 and 60 baht options on the menu, but I don't see many things over 150 baht. They also have a couple of restaurants, pastry and coffee shops. It's a beautiful hospital. There's a Starbucks. So thanks for walking over to Bumrungrad with me. You don't have to come to probably the most expensive hospital in Thailand, but even then, I think my total bill today, not that I paid anything other than that $8 for some medicine, the total bill was about $90 US. So that was some lab work, some blood, some urine, speaking with the doctor. There you go. It's not crazy out-of-pocket expenses. It's when you get sick that those expenses will add up quick. So I sure recommend having some type of insurance in effect. But anyhow, thanks for coming over with me on this Monday morning, and more videos around Bangkok to come. We'll see you later. Have a good day.